The story of Daniel. Daniel was originally from Jerusalem, but after Babylon conquered his homeland, he and many others were taken away to serve in the king's palace. King Nebuchadnezzar wanted the smartest young men in the kingdom to be trained for royal service, and Daniel was chosen because he was intelligent, disciplined, and wise. But life in Babylon came with pressure. The king ordered Daniel and the other young men to eat the royal food and drink the king's wine. To most people, it probably seemed like an honor. But Daniel believed those foods went against the values and laws he followed. Instead of rebelling angrily, Daniel spoke with wisdom and respect. He asked for permission to eat only vegetables and drink water for 10 days. The official in charge was nervous. He feared the king's reaction if Daniel became weak or unhealthy, but Daniel trusted God. 10 days later, Daniel and his friends looked healthier and stronger than everyone else. They were allowed to continue with their simple diet, and God blessed Daniel with wisdom, understanding, and the ability to interpret dreams. Soon Daniel stood out among all the wise men in Babylon. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar had a troubling dream that left him terrified. He called all the wise men in Babylon and demanded something impossible. Not only did they have to explain the dream, but they first had to tell him what the dream actually was. No one could do it. The king became furious and ordered all the wise men in Babylon to be executed, including Daniel. But instead of panicking, Daniel prayed. That night, God revealed the mystery to him in a vision. The next day, Daniel stood before the king and described the dream perfectly. He told the king about a giant statue made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay. Then he explained its meaning, revealing that kingdoms would rise and fall, but God's kingdom would last forever. The king was amazed. No magician or wise man could do what Daniel had done. Because of this, Daniel was promoted to a high position in Babylon. As the years passed, new kings ruled the kingdom, but Daniel continued to serve faithfully and honestly. He became so respected and trustworthy that King Darius planned to place him over the entire kingdom. But not everyone was happy about Daniel's success. Some officials became jealous and searched for a reason to destroy him. Yet no matter how hard they looked, they could find no corruption, dishonesty, or wrongdoing in him. Then they realized the only way to trap Daniel was through his faith. The officials tricked King Darius into signing a new law. For 30 days, no one could pray to any god or person except the king. Anyone who disobeyed would be thrown into a den of lions. The law was signed, and Daniel heard about it. But Daniel did what he had always done. He went to his room, opened his windows, knelt down, and prayed openly to God. The jealous officials immediately reported him to the king. King Darius was heartbroken because he respected Daniel and realized he had been tricked. He tried all day to save him, but the law could not be changed. And so Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. That night, the king could not sleep. He refused food and spent the entire night worrying about Daniel. At sunrise, King Darius rushed to the den and called out with fear in his voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God able to save you from the lions?" Then Daniel answered from inside the den, "My God sent his angel and he shut the mouths of the lions." Daniel was completely unharmed. Not a single wound was found on him because he trusted God. Daniel's story is more than just a miracle about lions. It is a story about courage, faith, and standing firm when life becomes difficult. Daniel faced pressure, danger, jealousy, and fear, yet he remained honest, respectful, and faithful to God. He refused to compromise his values just to fit in. And thousands of years later, people still remember his story because it reminds us that true courage is choosing to do what is right, even when it is difficult. Sometimes the greatest victories happen when we refuse to give up what we believe in, and that is the story of Daniel. If you enjoyed this video, then comment, like, subscribe, and share for more Bible stories. Thank you.